Not sure if I've gotten myself stuck into another mental pattern of thinking that I'm doing something that I'm not or not. Basically, I have like daily maintenance lists. I used to have a weekly log of the maintenance, and then nowadays I have various and sundry daily maintenances, and then I keep forgetting. I have like a place that I go to keep me honest, have people help keep me honest, and I keep forgetting. I don't know if that's willingly or not. I keep thinking that I had already written out the entire statement slash conversation of accountability for what I have been being supposed to do, which is kind of a weird thing, right? Like, I'm over here looking forward to Tuesday every week because I have assigned it as my mental day for, okay, here's when I do this voice recording thing, when literally it could be any other day. And I occasionally branch out on other days as well, especially when I'm like emotionally divested elsewhere. And then this is a before, basically. I've been thinking of attempting a battery of tests to, one, check the limits of my willpower, to test to see if some certain feelings have any merit to them or not, or if they are simply a coping mechanism slash false flagging. Basically, I used to functionally have a disconnect from reality, I guess you could call it. And as a part of that, I think that part of me is trying to be a sense of morality, a moral compass, if you would. Trying to say bad decisions feel cold and good decisions feel effortless. So anything that I do that I am walking towards without having to make any real effort tends to be something that I deem as good, even though that's not necessarily always true. It just means some type of progress, doesn't mean necessarily beneficial progress, but I guess ultimately everything ends up correlating and being useful in some degree or another to some other thing or another. I also tested myself a different way the other day. Still reeling from the ramifications of that, even though it should have been 3 days. I think this is technically day 3, and this is either day 3 or day 4 after that situation, and I shouldn't be, like, chemically speaking, I should be in the safe zone at this point, but, since that was something that wasn't such an easy to monitor substance that should be then out of your system, I think my psyche latched onto it, and now I have a psychosomatic attachment, which is a much more interesting problem to deal with. So, like, I'm now trying to get myself chemically to basically be able to see the feeling of a chemical addiction, and then use the feelings that the body naturally draws you backwards from to deal with a psychosomatic addiction. I guess this is a long, drawn-out way of saying that I'm using this as an attempt to make a coping mechanism, but, like, instead of it being, somebody goes to turn to this chemical every day to cope, they then learn by seeing the process with which the chemical first takes root, makes them feel different, and then watches how their body physically reacts to it over the next couple of days to see, okay, well, obviously this is a much shorter term chemical as well. Most chems that you introduce to your body only stay effective for like a couple of hours, and then it's like a 3-day detox. So it would make sense then that the situation that I encountered, which was approximately 10 hours, 12 hours of the, what I would say, placebo slash alternate chemical, so that it would theoretically logically follow that the fallout from that slash the detox from that would take longer to cope with. So this is basically going to end up being an experiment. I guess It might even be an exercise in learning to relax again, because lately that's like all I've been trying to do is learn ways to relax, and like it feels so methodical and purposeful that it feels like everything that I'm doing to try to relax ends up being not relaxing until the time when I'm not doing it anymore, which I guess is kind of the purpose, because that way you can say, okay, well, if you can quickly mentally run through the exercise and then try and generate the feeling that you get after it, you can chemically induce relaxation, theoretically. Um, but, yeah. This is going to be new experiment time. Watch me watch myself. Yeah. I might end up doing more voice logs in accordance with said testing, maybe even make a separate subsection for them. Not really sure yet. This is, once again, I'm being pulled in a direction that I'm not entirely sure where it is or where it's going, but this feels right / normal / progress, even if it could end up being dangerous and painful along the way. It will be answers that I want and potentially helpful for furthering my investigation / research in the future.